Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It is Thomas here, your host as always. I'm going to be starting out this Monday morning with this brief little video sort of explaining what my plans are for the next couple of months, as well as kind of long-term plans in terms of some changes and tweaks I'm going to be making to the channel. Just what I do here. The mailbag will be up in about an hour's time. So, if you're waiting around for that, it won't be long. Much of this has been motivated by the fact that the 12 Days of Halloween this year did not conclude the way I wanted it to. This accelerated 12 videos and 12 day schedule was not a thing that I was able to pull off this year, as I have been able to do in previous years. An accelerated production schedule just was not really in the cards for me this year. And most of this year, as well as 2018, as a matter of fact, was very poor in terms of my own output, my own reading. My review content was very sparse throughout, I'd say, these past 2 years. The reason for that probably has to do with what I will call health. I'm better now. I'm getting better a little bit all the time. And I have some things that, I'm getting treated for that I was not before. And that especially feels, very good. It's a definite, upward swing. But I feel like I need to have a production schedule that does not sort of psychologically put me in this sense of, oh God, I've got all this work to do. And it keeps the channel being fun for me to produce for. And also, the Halloween videos this year, I don't know if it's symptomatic of views are down generally, but this year's views on the Halloween videos are like the lowest ever. I've got some of the lowest views I've had on review videos generally since my first couple of years on BookTube, to be perfectly honest with you. I don't really understand why it's that low. Could just be, people doing other things with their lives right now. But it is also, maybe just this whole trying to dump a whole lot of content on everyone on a daily basis, every night at midnight and what have you. It's easy to kind of overlook and skip that and forget about it. And I just want to do things a little bit differently, something that will be a little bit easier on me, just in terms of my own energy and, my mental energy, my concentration, my sense of just general positive feeling about doing all of this. I have a very positive feeling about all this. My channel is very special to me and it's kind of central to my life right now. And but I want it to stay that way. I want it to stay. I want those good feelings about what I do here to not change. And so I'm going to be kind of shuffling some things around. For one thing, 12 Days of Halloween are done. What I'm going to be doing in future is I'm going to be incorporating horror review content just into year-round coverage, just right alongside the SF and the fantasy. I'll still think of something fun to do for Halloween, but it's not going to be this like, boom, 12 days, and just this massive, rush of content. This concentrated sort of a thing that puts me in sort of a position that's maybe, making, my reach is exceeding my grasp, right? Don't really want to do that. So to avoid that kind of burnout, and also keeping me in a positive state, I think it would just be better to do the coverage year round. So that's going to happen. So now you're going to get more regular horror coverage on the channel, if you're a fan of horror, along with the SFF. And I have already, on the channel, I have changed the name of the Halloween playlist just to the horror playlist. It is now featured on the homepage of the channel. If you look at it on desktop, you'll see it down there, along with science fiction and fantasy. And so now it's just going to be a regular part of my review coverage. As for review coverage, I had mentioned my reading output being very, very bad for the last couple of years. And so I'm going to be easing myself into better regularity with that. Once again, in a way that is comfortable for me and is something where I feel like I can do the quality of work that I want to do. Something that matches what I want to see in terms of, yes, I can be proud to put my name to this. I'm pleased with this. this indicates the the level of quality that I want for SFF180, the kind of quality that the channel requires, I think, and that you guys deserve. So henceforth, my uploading schedule is going to be Mailbag Monday, unless there is a skip week because the mail isn't happening. Sometimes we have those, as you know. And then I think at least one review a week. One a week, at a minimum. And on average, and I think that is just doable, right? That's just easygoing. I can read a book with pure pleasure and then just write about it. Do it like I used to do it, when I was doing the website. It was really easygoing and fun that way. If I have a really good reading week, or if I read books that are really short, perhaps, if I decide to, pick up a Tor.com novella instead of a 600-page tome, then you may get more than one review a week. But at least, a mailbag and a review, 2 videos a week as weekly content. I think that's something realistic for me to aim for in terms of my output. And I'm already kind of like moving in that direction. There is a review that's going to go up tomorrow. Granted, it's, one of the horror books for Halloween, but it is a great one. It's one of those little like hidden, masterpieces that you want to find when you're a reviewer. It's the kind of thing that makes reviewing so pleasurable, just finding a fantastic book where you least expected to. So that's going to go up tomorrow morning, in fact. Let's see, for autumn, I'm going to be, again, taking about a week before Thanksgiving. I'm going to be away from the office, off on a little vacation, but I am prepping content ahead of time for that as well. I already have my book picked for Turkey Day this year. And it's a classic. That should be fun. I'm going to be taking on a work of classic science fiction for Turkey Day. It actually won't be, this video won't be branded a Turkey Day special. It's actually going to be an SFF180 Classics episode. But it will appear on Thanksgiving Day as if it were the Turkey Day special, because it's just that big a turkey. Okay. So you have that to look forward to. And I'm going to be working on that video this week, as a matter of fact, just to get it done and uploaded. And in fact, my Patreon people will be able to see it a couple of weeks in advance, perhaps, if I go ahead and record it this week, which I may well do. As for Patreon, I haven't really done a big Patreon push lately, but, again, those of you considering it, remember, what I use the Patreon money for is paying Matt Olson, my channel artist, for my thumbnails. That's what I use the Patreon money for, I'm not, living on this money. It's not that much, and I'm not partying on it. It specifically goes to that aspect of the channel. And I think that aspect of the channel is what makes the channel unique and special in BookTube. And, Matt is a huge hero who just, I commission a thumbnail from him and I describe what I want, and boom, he nails it. And sometimes he has that thing for me, the same day or the next day. And it's like almost always perfect. Right. So, I feel very, very, very fortunate, in my collaboration with him. So if you want to, join my Patreon for just $2 a month, you can help fund that if you like. And it's very helpful and much appreciated. So, that's the long and short of that. I am, yes, the low views on the Halloween videos have been disappointing, but I'm not sorry I did it. And for the years that I did do the 12 Days of Halloween, that was fun, right? It was fun to have that kind of concentrated focus on horror. But from a production standpoint, yeah, it can really knock you out, right? Maybe I'm not a spring chicken anymore, but yeah, I would rather be reading these books and loving them and reacting to them, or even if I don't love them, I would rather just be, not feel that pressure of, got to get a video out every night for 12 days. It's like, it's fun to think about it, and it's a fun thing to promote and advertise, and it, but then when it comes to actually doing it, yeah. And also, this allows me to cover more horror in a given year. I don't just have to always settle on 12 books, because maybe there are more than that I want to read, and I don't want to miss out on things. So, all right then, thank you all for listening to this little ramble. This was completely unscripted, top of my head, just chewing on some thoughts I've been having about, how to kind of get the channel into a groove. that I like doing and that you guys like watching, and that, that doesn't put me in any pressure. If I don't feel also the need to come up with super crazy creative ideas every week. I'm very comfortable just doing mailbag review, and if I get a cool idea, or if Samantha over at Thoughts on Tomes has an interesting topic for something like Top 5 Wednesday, I may do a video for that, if I feel like I have something to contribute there. But those will be on an as I feel like it basis. If I feel like, yeah, I really have a cool idea for something new to do, then I'll do that. But I've been on BookTube 6 years now, and I think by now you guys have kind of gotten used to my pattern. I just sort of do my thing, right? I don't really do what all the other booktubers do in terms of the kinds of videos I make. And, I've got about 7,200 of you here to, following me along. And so, it must have met with some approval, and I'm very grateful for that. So I'm going to just try continuing to do what I do, the way I like to do it, and hopefully the way you guys like to watch it, okay? So, mailbag in about an hour. Everybody relax, it's coming. It's a modest one, but I still think it's going to be a good one. So, until I see all of you next time, thank you all so much for the support that you've given the channel over the years. And until I see you then, happy reading.